Hey, yo, welcome to the place of which you've been warned, where knowledge gathers and hits like a swarm. Return to the time when your soul was untorn. Rejoice, my friends. This is semblance of form. Hey, hi, hello. I hope you're having a blessed day, my fellow, because there's a lot to be happy about. So you don't get caught up in the muck and keep rocking your stuff, improving your strut, because we create our own luck. Okay. Let me snap out of that before I end up writing the song again. It's been a while since I sat down and wrote. You won't think it has been, because I'm going to release these one day after another, but I've been through it. And this is a double video. I was going to just do one because I've been kind of... but I said, nah, man, we're back at it. We're going to do 2 videos today. We're going to knock them out. We're going to put them up on different days. People will be like, whoa, is he breaking the time continuum again? And I'm going to be like, yeah, it's me. I did it. Ha. Anyway, yeah. So it's been a while since I sat down and wrote. But I'm gonna write after this. I actually haven't written today, but I'm gonna write after this for the next one. And the reason why I messed up my challenge is, unfortunately, life intervened. We were supposed to get into the college topic, but instead I changed up the video name, and now it's called I Almost Died Again. And I'm sure you're curious about that. Maybe we'll go into the story of how I almost died the first time later on. But yeah, we'll do that at some point, and you'll be like, damn, wow. Or maybe you'll just be like, ha, should die, motherfucker. That's kind of fucked up, man. You need to chill out. You need some therapy or something, bro. But hey, anyway. So we're running with it. Perhaps this breakdown here is gonna go into a part 2 thing again, but I didn't want to do that. So instead, we're gonna do something different, and you should enjoy it. So don't click off the video just because it isn't what you expected. Because best believe me, this is gonna be a good one. There's gonna be some nuggets of truth. There's gonna be some stuff, maybe even some dancing honeys in the background. You know. Nah, that ain't happening. Not today, man. The hair kind of crazy today. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we ain't trying to fucking... You know what I'm saying? But hey, anyway, yeah. So I had to take a break, man. I actually hadn't written or produced a video in a bit over a week until today and yesterday. I kind of got back into it. But I was writing this on Saturday, and today is Sunday. And this is the last time I wrote since the Thursday when the story that I'm about to tell you happened, which was not this past Thursday, but the week before. So, if a drink is nearby, pour out a little bit for my baby honey, as that was my affectionate name for my 2012 Honda CR-V. I had high hopes for the car. She was supposed to evolve into a mobile studio where I could take my talents to South Beach. I could spread it around the world. A mobile studio where I create music and content all around the country. Maybe even in Canada. That's a weird place, you know. Just kidding. I love my Canadians. I've only been up to Toronto once. Beautiful place, great people. Gotta go back soon. But yeah, we were supposed to do that. So, but unfortunately, honey is now in a junkyard somewhere, escorted by my insurance to the gas station, the great gas station in the sky, where beef jerky is only 99 cents. And the soda machine is like the ones you find at Zaxby's and some other places, but they got even more infinite options. You just be pressing the button, scrolling all day, man. I want to make Arnold Palmer with some Coke and put me in some raspberry s'mores in there. Yeah, let me get that. Anyway, so Thursday, the 3rd of October, Thursday, the 3rd of October, a day that will go down in history for me. Haha. It seemed like a night, like any other. Crisp night air felt taut on my skin. The moon relaxed as a subtle sliver, laying barely any light across the land. The darkness was palpable, and I went along my current routine of moving along at a decent pace, delivering gifts to all the little girls and boys that have grown up, because by little, I mean people old enough to still care about freaking newspapers. Like, is that you? I don't know. I got like newspapers in my place. I still can't get myself to read them, and I get them for free. But anyway, so that's besides the point. We were all little girls and boys at some time in the scope of eternity. So smarten up, bucko. Yeah, we're still little boys and girls to the Lord Almighty. So Jesus saves all, bro. So anyway, let's keep on going. Aha. So time was moving smoothly. I wasn't going too fast or too slow. On a fast night, I might end my route around 4:30, while on a slower one, it'll probably be about 5:30. So as the clock struck 5 a.m. and I'm zooming down the highway towards the turn that would lead to my final 4 stops. It had been a nice night. I was in a pretty good place. I had my music bumping. Everything felt right in the world. It was just like, this is a beautiful night. We're finishing up. I'm not tired. This is cool. We're going along. And I just sped along at the posted pace, just dreaming of the sleep that I was going to be able to enjoy soon. And then, suddenly, I noticed a faint movement on the road. You see a movement on the road at night when you're going and through the darkness. What do? You immediately slam on the brakes, because you never know around these parts. You never really know. Colorado, it's a beautiful place, and that's why the creatures here love it as well. So I slam on my brakes as I see a faint movement, and probably 15 feet, maybe at the most, away, when I spotted them, it's a group of elk. They had decided to cross the road, and it's weird how time will slow down during traumatic moments. Like, even when you are moving at high speeds, like they stepped out onto the road, kind of like they wanted to test their fate. Like, I don't know what type of wildlife you have where you live, but wildlife can test your patience. Like, around here, we have a bunch of jackrabbits in Colorado. So I'm currently around at night, and these jackrabbits, they have a passion, like unbridled passion for destruction, like a will to test their limits that could resemble Evel Knievel. Like, they just go crazy. So yeah, you can't go around driving at night in this area without at least like 5 jackrabbits just testing their mettle by just running a straight path across the path of your car, and you're just like, oh, like, no, I'm not that bad, like, because they give you like barely enough time to slow down. So like, some days I'll just be like, screw it, man. If you're gonna do this shit, man, I'm just driving. May God be with you, bro. Like, hopefully you survive, man. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping you figure this thing out. This was well calculated, and you hit the jump and land, and the fireworks go off just like all the good times before. But man, you're trying to run past 7 buses every night. You're gonna end up getting caught up in eventually. So yeah, so they'll give you barely enough time to slow down as they zoom across, and Like, surprisingly, they have like a 99% success rate as far as I've seen. I guess it's because they're so small, they can just kind of like weave in the tires. Like, they'll stop in the middle as you're going, like, and over them, because it's like, oh, stop here. They'll be like, just be chilling and moving back and forth in one place, because they only got to do it for a few seconds as you roll by. But yeah, they're absolute psychopaths. But they're cute and they're cuddly, so we don't mind, and we try to protect them. We try not to hit them. Now, elks are a different case altogether. So for elks to be acting like rabbits, that's a bit much. That's a bit much, man. Like, we're talking about creatures that stand around 5 feet tall, weighing about 1,000 pounds. Like, the elks, a male elk, a full-grown male elk, you're talking 800 to 1,200 pounds. You know, that's a lot of weight to be trying to play chicken, man. Much too weight to be doing it with unaware motorists who only have like 10 feet to really react. So it was crazy. Like, the time slowed down, and I hit the brakes. And as time slows down, I can see into each of these elk's eyes as they're passing. Like, one elk gets by clean. The second one catches me in the eye, he gets by as well. And then the third elk and I stare at each other for a moment. And then there's that starting realization in both of our eyes. Like, you could even see like a bit of the fear, like, in the eyes. And then I didn't see the eyes. They were gone, and then wham! Like, time instantly kicks back up to full speed, and the elk just had its hindquarters smash against my car, and like, it's nowhere to be seen. For me, like, I'm immediately just coasting. I start coasting to the side of the road. My car is hissing, and it's seeping out white smoke. I can barely see out of my side of the window that I'm looking forward at, because the hood of my car is like contorted. It's like my hood turned into a freaking mountain range, you know? And so, like, you don't ever want to see something like that. So I pulled over to the side of the road as quick as possible, because at that point I was afraid like my car might explode. I mean, I don't know if I've seen too many movies or something where the cars go boom. Like, that's all mostly BS. I think today's cars are pretty safe in avoiding explosions like that. But I was like, it was rough, and it looked bad. It looked like, at the very least, that the elk had hit damage all the way up to my battery, you know, and that's dangerous. So yeah, so I'm just like, pull over to the side of the road, and as quick as I can. So I get out of the car, and my adrenaline is pumping, man. It's crazy. Like, my body feels like I just want to run. I just like want to sprint off as fast as I can. But I stop, and I try to steel myself, and so I walk to the front of the car. I don't know what is dropping stuff on my hood. These squirrels be going crazy. But yeah, I steel myself, and I walk to the front of the car to see the damage. I'm staying at a decent little radius around it, because I'm thinking, yo, what if this thing explodes? Like, if this explodes, I'm in a good enough radius where I will just barely die. Yeah. Then I see it as we'll make it the thumbnail for this video, so you can just see what it's like. But unlike in the picture, it's pitch dark and around like 40 degrees. So for some weird reason as well, which I need to get better at, it was one of those days when I didn't charge my phone enough. Like, that's one good thing about the iPhone compared to the Droid I had. The Droid I had, I just had it too long. The battery was really going off. But this iPhone is kind of keeping up with the power. I kind of enjoyed that part about it. I can have it on a whole day and still be at like 50%. That's pretty nice. But anyway, my phone was sitting at 10%, and this horrible accident just happened. The damage was horrendous, but I was confident enough after looking at it that I didn't think it would explode, but I didn't want to turn the car on like all the way, so I turned it on to low power, because like if the battery's working a little bit now, this is probably about the last time we get anything out of it, because I could tell it was bad. I could tell, like, there's probably no coming back from this Ronnie. It was sad. But first I called my buddy, who I moved out to Colorado with, as he's kind of like my only really strong resource in the area, and I was a bit panicked. It was just like, and we were supposed to meet up and go to the gym in a little bit, but I called AAA, and he told me that I should call AAA, because I was out of it, right? I was kind of like nighttime, cold, tragedy. Your brain doesn't think the same way as it normally does. But yeah, so I got off the phone with him, and I called AAA to set down a tow, calm down a bit. Like, I could tell Honey was in bad shape, like totally totaled. And I felt bad too, because I wasn't even thinking about the elk at that point. But here I was, man, 1,700 miles away from my home and like family, with my most precious resource inert and barely recognizable on the side of the road, with my phone about to die in cold weather. And like my monetary situation is still getting into good graces with me just moving out here, because it costs a lot to make the move. So like things were going bad in my head. But the reality of it is I had almost died, and I still wasn't out of the realm of it still happening. Like, it could have been a car rounding around the corner of the highway, just moving into the lane a little too early, or a leakage of fumes as I sat in the car with just the heat on, just the heat on, and music faintly playing, just to try to stay okay. But eventually I found out the wait for AAA was set at 2 hours. So I called my buddy, and thankfully he came to pick me up. Luckily, we usually went to work out, like I was saying, around then, an hour or so from then. So he was already awake. Plus, this was a special day when he was going to go over to another buddy's to try to get in early on a crypto coin release. But anyway, right as I got home, I get a call from an untitled number, where a guy tells me that in Colorado, elk are considered state property, so you got to report it. And he saw it suffering, so he put it down. Oh, wow. Like, I don't understand why these things pop off like this. It doesn't really make sense to me. But, that's just how it is every time, man. Sometimes things just pop off. You don't even know when it's going to happen. Boom, pop off. Same type of storyline we're talking about here. So, yeah. And so he saw it suffering. He had to put it down. And thankfully, he knew what he was doing. He did all the necessary legal work, so we could just, like, move it along. And I didn't really have to do anything about that part of it. But around 8 a.m., one of my roommates and I, we went to the car to clean it out, in the hopes that the cops hadn't arrived or anything, because there was, like, some suspect things that they might have found. But, like, thankfully, like, in case you're out in Colorado, man, you like, at least in my area, at least, it might be a lot more in Denver, but you don't see too many cops around. So that's kind of cool, depending on your thoughts. But, like, it feels like crime is really good, like, really low around here. Like, it's probably different around those areas, like, was it like Aurora or something like that in the news, where they're setting up gangs and stuff. But it's not like that where I'm at, a bit north of Denver, about an hour or so. But yeah, so luckily the car wasn't being monitored, and we arrived just as the company called by AAA was arriving to tow it away. Funnily enough, they had never contacted me. So I'd just be sitting in a cold, disabled car for like 3 hours if I didn't hit up my buddy. And I will say that there were 3 different cars that stopped during that hour. When it's super dark outside, just to figure out, seeing how things were, and see if I was okay. So that's cool. Like, so there are plenty of good people left in the world. They just might mostly be living in Colorado, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm sorry about that if you're not out here, man. I'm sure there are good people where you're at too, man. You're a good person, right? You're watching this. Of course you are. Come on, man. Come on. You're interested in me. You're a good person, right? Anyway. So, yeah, like, but yeah, people seem to be good or better around here, but I think it helps when you're like in an area where like the natural scenery is just so awe-inspiring that it's like hard to stay unhappy for long. So now I'm waiting on my insurance to handle my lease, and I'm using a rental that was reimbursed by the job I was running. But I had to change the title from something about college to reflect this story as my alarm signaling the end of my writing went off. I guess I'll go a little bit deeper into my psyche before continuing with the story I was telling before on the next video. But with this, I'm gonna leave off saying don't take your life for granted, because it definitely can end in an instant. You want to find goals and strive towards them without lamenting on your progress. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, to observe and adapt. You don't want to be looking at the end thinking to yourself, hardly anybody will miss me because I failed to accomplish my mission in life. So those are all the thoughts that are going through my head. So I'm back on the grind. I'm back into a better mood. We're gonna be back on the writing. I'm gonna be back on the producing of videos. I'm even getting my music going a bit more. We're getting on different platforms. So hey, it's all up from here. We just had to go down into the valley to figure out that beauty can be found in the rise. So anyway, I truly hope that you have a blessed day, and until next time, be easy.